happy Wednesday. My days are all off this week because of the holiday. I'm sure I'm not alone on that one. Welcome to this Splash Live, the only show all about the people who call the Greater West Bloomfield community home. I'm Ronnie Dahl, your guide on this adventure. So I have to ask you, what do you get when you combine tennis, badminton, and ping pong? Pickleball. Why, of course, it is one of the fastest growing sports. And the pickleball bug has hit Sylvan Lake. With us this morning, Karen Swift Berkfield. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling me.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, after talking with you, I caught the pickleball bug. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is, right. But it's accurate.
Okay, and surprisingly enough, I found out this really isn't new, but it's really just now catching on. More of a mainstream level, but for people who don't know what pickleball is, it's not that you go out with a bunch of balls and you're eating pickles and having a good time, right? It really has nothing to do about pickles.
Exactly, right. No, I think your description was perfectly accurate. It's a combo. You use a paddle like ping pong, but you use a net like badminton and tennis. You're on a court, and it's much smaller than tennis, but it's I'd say it's close to a pandemic.
That's pretty much a good analogy too. And you started playing during the pandemic.
Exactly. You know, it was a really good way for people to get outside and socialize without feeling like they were, they could still social distance and all that. So during the pandemic, the way it started, there were a few of us interested just from hearing about it. And then I was down checking the pickleball. Well, the tennis court had just gotten striped, and I was on the Parks and Rec committee. So I went down there to check it, and there was a gentleman who was setting up, looked like maybe to give tennis lessons. So I said hello to him, and we got chatting, and he said, well, do you play pickleball? And I said, well, not yet, but we have our court and there's a bunch of us that want to. And he's like, well, I give lessons. So we had him come out. There were about 5 or 6 of us originally. So he would charge us so much an hour, and as many people showed up, we would just split it and pay him. So that got us started. And then a few of those people have become like addicted. They're in tournaments constantly and all that. But another woman in the neighborhood, Mary Lewis, that I kind of got going, she has become our huge ambassador. I mean, she really took it from 5 or 6 people to, she started a GroupMe app. I think we've got at least 40 people now that are playing.
Oh my gosh. When I hear you say, she became the ambassador, I want to get her a costume that's shaped like a pickle and have her walk around Sylvan Lake, right? I mean,
I don't know if she'd go for that.
Because the name pickleball, you're like, how did they get the name pickleball?
Right. I think you've done some research. There's different versions, but yeah, I'm going to with the one that it was somebody's dog's name.
I know, it's so much more fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
So can I ask you, for people who have never played before, they're hearing about this for the first time, or maybe they've heard about it but they have no clue what it is. Is it easier than tennis? How would you compare it to ping pong, tennis, badminton?
I've never been a big tennis player. I've played it a few times when I was younger. I think that pickleball seems like it'd be way easier on your joints. You're working with a wiffle ball. It's a paddle that is similar to a ping pong paddle. It seems like all the equipment is more lightweight. The court is smaller, so you're not running all over the place. And I think it adapts to us seniors really well. I think that's one of the reasons it's so huge down in Florida. People can stay active and get their cardio and socialize. it checks a lot of boxes for people, you know.
I like the thought too of the wiffle ball, because while they can be a little bit dangerous, it's still not like a tennis ball being hurled at you.
Oh, I've had them in the face a few times.
So with that, I think we have some of the pictures that you sent in to us to show,
good.
like, you guys have really made this kind of an outing and a gathering, and I love that it happened during the pandemic, because we were so desperate for those connections that we took for granted.
Yeah, a few of the girls have said, you know, this really got me through that you know, time when everybody's feeling so isolated and restricted. You know, it's been really helpful, and it's growing like crazy. As you know, I read an article not long ago that said it's even being considered to be in the Olympics.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure it won't happen right away, but the fact that they're even mentioning it is pretty cool.
Right. Well, skateboarding's now in the Olympics too, right?
That's true.
But the fun thing about this, I feel like it does invite people of all different levels, because tennis is kind of an old school game, but it can be intimidating. Ping pong, when it's done in our basement, that's fun, but then when you get with serious ping pong people, count me out, right?
Yeah, it gets really fast.
So tell us about the people that play. Are you finding it's reaching more people?
Absolutely. So when we got it started, Mary and I were basically the recruiters. And now we've got a really nice base of people, and they're taking their own initiative and setting up game times and, you know, getting their own teams together and things like that, which is what we wanted to happen. You know, the GroupMe app, the city may still want to do some sort of a scheduling program through the website, but for now, the GroupMe app works out really well. Everybody's gotten used to using it. If you want to play a game tomorrow at 4, you can post an event, and then the people that are on the app know to, oh, I got to notice what's going on. And if they're available, they can say, yeah, I'll be there. It's really worked out really well.
I love that. And, you know, I'm an app person, and I haven't heard of this one. I do the Meetup, but this is a great one. That's how I found my tennis group, was through Meetup. Can I ask you, Karen, is this played kind of like tennis, where you can do it as singles or doubles? How does that work?
You can do singles or doubles. We generally do doubles unless not enough people show up. If we have 3 people, then we play, you know, what do we call it? Pickle? I'm not even sure. Where as soon as you don't hit play, make your play, you're out, and somebody else comes in. You know, you keep score, but you just you keep rotating in. If I miss my shot, I'm out, and the next person that's waiting comes in and takes my place. So it's real. It keeps people involved. It goes really fast, and it's fun.
So can I ask, because you're playing with a wiffle ball, so is that where the badminton, you know, comes in? Because does the ball hit the court, or no? Like, does that matter, or do you just hit it while it's in volley?
Well, you can volley, but actually it has to hit the ground on the serve and on the return.
Oh.
So it has to hit those 2 times. And then generally, I think most people find it easier to, especially beginners probably, find it easier to get to the ball after it's landed, you know, after it's bounced. So yeah, it hits the ground, or you can volley. Now there is, you've probably heard of the non-volley zone or the kitchen. You have to stay out of the kitchen. You cannot hit a volley with your foot in the kitchen. You can only, and that's like the area up by the net. You can hit that ball and go into the kitchen or the non-volley zone if the ball has already bounced. And that sounds complicated if you've never pick it up quickly.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking pickle kitchen. Who came up with this? Come on, I'm going into the kitchen. Can we talk real quickly about equipment? Because tennis equipment can get pretty expensive. And if you have a ping pong table, is the ping pong paddle for pickleball bigger than what you would normally use? Do you get specialized equipment for this?
Yeah, there's pickleball paddles that you need to get. And, if you're not sure you even want to do it, you can buy these pretty inexpensive kits with, they'll have two paddles and a few balls, and I think they're $30 or something. But generally, I would say the paddles, if you want to start playing the sport, run from maybe $60 on up into a couple hundred.
Okay. Typically I used to be on the volleyball league there on Thursday nights in Sylvan Lake.
No.
But I was so bad last year that now I'm just the sub this year. But I'm the fun person. I make tutus for everyone. So pickleball, you guys are doing a clinic tonight. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
We are. We're really excited. A gentleman who some of us have taken lessons from, Tom Wayner. He volunteered actually to come over and give this intro to pickleball. And we've got, I think, maybe 8 or 9 people coming tonight. And he's just going to give the basics, answer questions. He's got paddles. We're going to have paddles if people don't have their equipment yet. And he's terrific. He explains things in a really clear, precise manner and doesn't make it confusing at all.
I love this. It's so fun. You guys have a great community there in Sylvan Lake, but it takes people such as yourself just to say, hey, let's start this. I may not know how to play pickleball, but let's go.
Well, let's find out. Exactly. Yeah. So what night did you play volleyball?
The volleyball league over there is on Thursday nights.
Yeah. So we're playing, my husband and I play bocce while you're playing volleyball.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we'll run into each other, and if I could clear my schedule, I want to stop by tonight and say hi. But I want to see you guys in action because I've been hearing about this for a while. And I think sometimes I just can't get past the name.
Yeah, well, those 3 dads, as I understand, the main story is those 3 dads that started it for their kids out in Seattle. They're the ones that decided on pickle, I guess.
Well, it's fun and it sticks, and we're so glad that you guys are having fun with it as well. And like you said, it's a great way to get out, interact with your community, but get exercise as well.
And we have all levels. We've got people that don't know how to hold the paddle up to the tournament players.
Oh, that's so great. Karen, it's been so fun having you on. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Ronnie. I really appreciate you having me on.
I'm going to try to swing by, but if I try to join your team, I want to dress like a pickle, or at least make us pickle tutus. I'm a tutu girl.
Well, we can propose that and see.
Well, thank you so much, and have fun tonight.
Okay, thanks, Ronnie. I hope I see you.
And of course, that's happening tonight in Sylvan Lake. It really is for residents, though, but it doesn't matter where you live. These clinics are popping up all over. I'm sure the West Bloomfield Parks Department is doing something similar as well. Hey, also, each week we want to let you know we like to highlight someone from the Greater West Bloomfield community going above and beyond to improve our little corner of the world. Show your gratitude. Tell us about them. We need to know. We've made it easy. Scan the QR code right here on your screen. Fill out the Google form with the person's contact info and why you think they should be recognized. It could be a person or a business or an organization. You can also find the form by going to civiccentertv.com. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Okay, so June 1st, really kind of not summer yet, but it's feeling like summer with these super warm temperatures. And of course, that has all of us making our plans to get outside, taking those family excursions or going out on the boat. And you know what that requires? Packing your cooler. Food safety is one of the most important things you can do for your family to keep them safe this summer. So here is the latest episode of Food Safety at Home with Jake and Laura. Some good tips here.
Oh my, clean is cool, but cleaner is cooler. With the summer sun, I think it's time we start planning for packing.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Jake.
And we're going to discuss getting your cooler ready for the summer, right? First thing we always want to do with everything is get it clean. So, what does your cooler look like? If it's anything like most of mine, not so lovely, right? So, let's start with the very beginning. Before I put anything in here, I like to use the wipes for it, just to get that racking, and that way it picks up the debris that might be in there too,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Definitely.
And that's not the only method for sanitation we can do, right? We could,
Right.
just like our cutting boards or in our work surfaces, we can use dish soap and hot water. We can use the sanitizer wipes or sprays. We can use bleach in just a tablespoon in a quart of water. Any other things you can think of? I think I covered them.
No, I think you're pretty good. That's
Yep.
pretty good.
Whatever
That's a good
we
way
can
to
get
do
it clean, you're good.
Definitely. Definitely. These go through quite a lot of dirty, nasty, horrible places.
They do a hard job.
They do. And then now I'm cleaned and sanitized too.
And we need to pack these when we're done with them, because once we get to the campsite, we're going to want to put down our vinyl tablecloth that we can wipe off and clean so that our work surfaces are clean and sanitary, just like our cooler is.
Yep.
Yep.
And then your hands are clean and sanitized too.
I'll
Yes.
throw the hand sanitizer in there too, just so everybody can clean them up before we eat.
Excellent way. And I do think that the rules are, even if you're packing a cooler to go camping or just to go for a day trip, or if you're packing the car, I use this little one. So it's always in the car. I like this because it's flat.
Yeah, I
So
leave
that
mine in my trunk.
Even when I'm grocery shopping, I can keep things cool for our hot summer days.
Absolutely. Well, with that 4-hour window, I mean, that's a short period of time
Yeah.
if you're out running errands.
Yeah,
And
it
you
really
can
is.
go past that really quick and lose your product.
I've done a lot of camping over the years, and I've learned a few tricks when you're doing this, and most of it is being prepared. Freezing things ahead of time. So what we're going to start with is our frozen items, right? It's an easy way to deal with it. So in the freezer, we've got the lovely things. So do you know you can freeze sticks?
Cheese sticks?
Lovely for
Makes
your
perfect sense.
kids, right?
I'd freeze
But-
these for the lunch too.
And this, if I was only 2 people, I might separate them so I don't have to touch them all.
Makes sense.
Right?
But by the
Keeping it-
time we get there, they'll be ready to go on the grill.
Keeping it frozen is good. Hot dogs, same thing. I mean,
They're like
easy to
ice
throw in there.
packets shaped like dinner.
Now, one of my tricks has always been my ice packet being the types of liquids that I'm taking. So freezing your milk, freezing your coffee, freezing your iced tea, whatever it is.
Perfect sense.
Instead of putting an ice pack in there that's going to take up space,
Yeah.
I like to have these frozen, and then I'll use those as my ice packs
iced
as I put
coffee.
it in there, right? It just makes sense. If you're cooking, if you're going to put butter in there, oh, gee, how about we throw it in already frozen, right?
That makes perfect sense.
I might put it in a Ziploc bag so it doesn't end up with stuff on it. And then, of course, I'm going to need ice packs, of course.
Yeah, gotta bring your freezer
But
packs.
the less of those I need, the better, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you top it off with extra ice, we just want to be certain that we drain
Right.
it. Then we leave that plug open so that all of our food isn't sitting in water. But this way, you really
Yeah.
don't have a lot of that as a risk.
but I do like to make things like chili and taco meat is my favorite thing to prep ahead of time. Bag it up, ready to go, right? And then you can make walking tacos, or you can use it to make chili or whatever. But it's already frozen, so I can put it in here, and it's really going to help keep everything nice and frozen during transportation.
When I love good home cooking at the campground without the grit of the sand, I tell you.
Without cleaning up, right? Getting cast iron cleaned up. And then I would go ahead and put in my veggies and whatever. Now, if
anything you don't want to freeze.
Right.
Yeah.
If I was going to do chicken, that makes it a little bit tricky. Do I cook it ahead of time and then just tear it apart when you get there? Or if I'm going to marinate it, I'm going to properly seal it very, very well so that it doesn't have an issue here. Or an even better idea for things like that is to put them in a separate cooler.
Absolutely. You can even bring a small cooler just for your meat.
Right.
Yeah. And if
To
it's all
keep 'em
frozen,
totally
you don't have to
separate.
worry about them.
Right. And then here I can now put my veggies, my fruits, all of that kind of thing right on top of it, which does make the whole idea much easier.
Absolutely.
But planning ahead is, of course, the big conversation with this type of thing.
Now, Laura, if we end up with our cooler thawing and everything coming out of frozen, and it's still 41, it's safe, right? But if it goes above 41, we only have 4 hours yet again before we must discard everything, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be quite a challenge when it's 90 degrees with 90% humidity in the state of Michigan.
Don't leave it in your black car.
That really is a big deal. Another trick that you can use if you don't have one of those nice high-end coolers that you can plug into your car is wrap your cooler in a blanket. Just gives it that extra insulation.
Absolutely.
Or those
like insulated ones?
insulated blankets
Absolutely.
are kind of cool to have too. So,
Well, and the sense of what you're doing, it's really there, because thermal mass, I mean, if you can keep everything that's cold together, it's just
Yeah.
going to stay colder longer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let it
So-
all hold together and stay cold.
So stay safe out there. Ooh, easy for me to say.
Yeah.
Right? Keep your raw food separate from your ready to eat while you're camping or while you're on location, wherever you might be. And always remember that 4-hour rule, because that will really help you. Once you set out a picnic, you really do. The clock did start ticking, so you want to be really careful with that.
You're so right.
Yep.
Well, you know what we say, oh my, cool is clean, but cleaner is cooler.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Jake. Have fun out there.
And of course, that was our good friends over at the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. They have fun with it, but it's some great information. So keep your family safe and your guests safe this summer. We'll be right back here on The Splash.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Oh, welcome back. Taking a look at what's happening around town. Hey, you can expand your garden and help preserve Mother Nature's natural beauty. And the best thing, it is free. Free native plant kit registration opens today, June 1st. It's part of the county's native plant initiative to help protect the environment. You can register at events.anr.msu.edu/Oakland Plants 22. I know it's long. Just Google it. You'll find it. Pickup is going to be June 11th and June 12th, but you want to go ahead and register today. That's a great deal. I'm going to do that. I learned so much on this show. Also, this Saturday, June 4th, is National Trails Day. To celebrate the day, the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission has organized a self-guided walk at Marshbank Park, as well as the West Bloomfield Trail. There's going to be nature education signs along the way to help you learn a few things, and also a naturalist is going to be there to answer some of your nature questions. It's going to be starting at 8 a.m. And just to let you know, they'll be handing out t-shirts to the first people to arrive. You can find out more, of course, at westbloomfieldparks.org. One of the best events, I think, happening around town this weekend. Okay, go ahead, call me a geek right now. Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library will be holding their spring used book sale. It's going to be happening Friday, June 3rd to Sunday, June 5th. So Friday hours, just so you know, is kind of more of the preview just for friends. It's the preview sale. That will be happening 7 to 9 p.m. Now, if you are not currently a member of the group, you can join at the door. It's going to be $10 for a person. I think it's $15 for a family. The regular hours for the public will be Saturday. Saturday is going to be 9 to 5. Sunday, noon to 5. And by the way, Sunday is one of the best days to me because it's $5 bag day. So what happens is you get like a big grocery bag, and then you pay $5, and then you can go in and load up that bag with as many books, DVDs. Believe it or not, they still have a few VHS tapes too, if you still have a VHS player or even a DVD player. We only have one in our house because your computers don't come with a DVD player anymore. But we do still have one. But it's also a great way to get your kids reading, especially those kids' books, because whew, boy, are expensive today. That's why I have a dog. She doesn't know how to read. So again, that's going to be happening this weekend. From years past, my experience years past, especially if you're going on a Saturday, just know typically the line kind of starts out the door. Okay, we have 1 minute real quick. We want to let you know, check out the West Bloomfield Today. We're in it. Learn all about the work that we are doing here at Civic Center TV, as well as all the good things happening on your local news level. You're watching The Splash Live, a show dedicated to all things West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake. And you can catch the show live Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 10, and on demand at civiccentertv.com. Have a happy day, everyone.